Our biggest goal is to help people land a job. That's what we want to see.
You can find what you really want to do, not what you feel that you have to do.
We are confident that we can help any individual that comes through the doors.
People come in with different personalities on a daily basis, and so we want to make sure we meet the person where they are. That's our goal, is to help them.
The Business and Career Solution Centers of Southeast Louisiana are here for one reason: to help you find the job you want. From the initial assessment to help with resume writing and interviewing skills, to job referrals and even job training, we'll help you find the career that's right for you. In this series, you'll hear from actual employers about what they look for when making a new hire. We'll cover things like assessing your situation, skills, and interests, customized job training, locating the right career opportunities, how to apply for a job, acing your interview, negotiating a job offer, and how to keep your job. Whether you've been in the workforce for years or just getting started, no matter your education or background, we can help. Our centers are conveniently located throughout the metro area, with locations in New Orleans, Metairie, Gretna, Slidell, Laplace, Chalmette, Luling, Belle Chase, Algiers, and Vacherie. All of the Business and Career Solution Centers are open 5 days a week. You can visit laworks.net to confirm the hours of the center closest to you. The Business and Career Solution Centers are not the unemployment office. For any questions about unemployment, contact the Louisiana Workforce Commission at 1-866-783-5567. They'll be happy to assist you with your claims and questions. Now let's get started. The first thing is to come into the Business and Career Solution Centers and become a member. It's easy and it's free. Each center is staffed with specialists whose goal it is to help move people from the ranks of the unemployed to new jobs and careers.
We want people to know that we're going to treat them professionally. We actually have individuals that work one-on-one with them through the membership application process. It's a very relaxed process, and the questions are questions that they would know automatically.
It's a dialogue. It's an open dialogue where you tell us what you need, and we try to assist you by making sure we can meet your needs.
I was surprised at how many resources they had. I was surprised at how much knowledge they had. And the information that they were able to give me was, like I said, very encouraging, and it made me very hopeful.
When you become a member, you will have 24-hour access to online resources through laworks.net. There, you can find job listings, online classes, resume tools, and other career guidance. In the centers, you will have access to computers and fax machines, as well as information about job fairs and job seeker workshops.
We work with all individuals because we know that they all want a better life. And so our goal is to help them with the steps to achieve that better life. It's not an easy path. Sometimes the path takes sometimes weeks, but we're here for them while they go through every step of the way.
You know, at first I was a little intimidated coming here because you are a little bit depressed, if you will. And but they made me feel comfortable. They actually made me feel special.
Looking for a job is a full-time job. It's easy to get down on yourself. Don't feel like you have to do it alone. Let us assess your situation and see if we can help you on the path back to employment.
Take your time. Be patient. Because that's first of all, you got to remember that you're not the only one that's been through something, all right, or going through. But go somewhere where you know there's a lot of people, and all the time you can get help and people can talk to you and encourage you. You know, and they told me it's going to be all right. Every day I came, you're going to find something. Something going to come your way.
Don't be afraid to accept help. A lot of people want to do it on their own. That's great. You're independent. We want you to be independent. But in your journey for independence, anyone who's independent still needs a second eye to look at their resume. Anyone who's independent still needs that you can do it. We got your back. We're here for you. We're here to help. We care about you. So regardless if someone is independent and says, well, I've been doing this and I got my last job by myself and I don't need anything, let us be your cheering section. You know, let us look over some things you might have missed. Or it is also good to say, hey, you know what? You are on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. So, and that's what we're here for. Let us do that.
Most importantly, we want to get you to the center so we can get the ball rolling. In our next section, we discuss what responsibilities and anchors you may have in your life so that you can start your job search.
This program has been brought to you by the Workforce Investment Boards and Business and Career Solutions Centers of Southeast Louisiana, funded through a grant from the U.S. Department of Labor.
Becoming a member allows the Business and Career Solutions Centers to assess your situation. In order to make the most out of your first visit, you should bring identification, your work history, and your educational history. There are 4 things we look at in the assessment process: your immediate needs and barriers to employment, what is your current reality, your skills and abilities, what's your current level of education and experience, your career options, are you on the right path, your level of current job readiness, do you have what you need to get your foot in the door?
The first thing we want to do is assess what their immediate needs are. You know, how long have you been looking for work? Are your lights on? You know, have you been able to pay your mortgage or your rent? Do you need public assistance to help put food on the table? Because if a person is consumed with, I've got this bill to pay, or what am I going to eat tonight, or, you know, the bank is calling every 5 minutes, then they really can't focus on finding that next job.
We want to look at the entire picture. We want to see where have you been and where do you want to go. Or if you're lacking some skills, what do we need to do to make sure you obtain those skills so you become employable?
Barriers are realities that we face every day. It's important that you address any barriers before you start your job search.
Job seekers do have barriers that they are not aware of that they may have to overcome because it has just become part of their day-to-day, and they may not realize that their transportation situation is a barrier or their child care issue is a barrier. But those are some very important things to employers because an employer needs to know that that individual is going to have reliable transportation to get him or her to the job on time daily, as well as adequate child care.
Other barriers may include spotty work history, family obligations, lack of computer skills, or a limited education. You might also be faced with the reality that the job you had been doing is no longer in demand. These all need to be considered. All of these can affect the types of jobs that you look for and how you prepare.
We know that people can get a job. What we want them to do is to have a career. And so that's why we do an assessment of their skills and abilities to help them match those skills and abilities with jobs.
Do you have the skills and abilities you need to be successful? If there are gaps in key areas, the centers can assist in addressing some of the basics. We have computer literacy classes, GED prep classes, or in some cases, access to more advanced classes in various high-demand industries. We also look to see which skills you have and how they can be used in a new job. These are called transferable skills.
There are many job seekers or employed individuals who have been on a job for such a long time doing one skill and not knowing that those skills are transferable, because if they become unemployed, they think that they're stuck in a rut or I could never do anything else. But many of those skills are transferable.
I taught high school for 8 years, and they would ask me, well, what kind of transferable skills do you have? I organized 150 students a day. I planned lessons, I graded papers. I had to be very good with time management and organization. And I was asked, what kind of transferable skills do you have?
In some cases, you might need help figuring out exactly what career path is right for you.
That's when you have to take that long look and say, do I want to keep doing what I've been doing? Or is this my opportunity to try something different? What am I skilled to do? What can I do? But what do I like to do? What do I enjoy? Because if you enjoy it, you're going to do very well at it.
I think a lot of people have skills and interests that they don't know what jobs those skills and interests would lead to. So I think vocational counseling is a very key part. And they maybe can match their desires with the jobs and find out how to get trained to do those jobs.
This is why in the assessment, we also look at your readiness to begin a successful job search.
Also looking at your resume, looking at your past work history, and definitely talking about how we can make sure that you can become employable. And that might mean a number of different things. Going to the job readiness sessions, redoing your resume, doing a mock interview with you, so we can make sure you're putting your best foot forward when you do get that interview.
No matter your situation, we are here to help you achieve your career goals in a professional, compassionate, and realistic way. So to review assessment, first, you must become a member. Second, we need to review your skills. Third, we work with you to help you figure out if you need to stay in your existing career or start working on a new career path, which leads us to our next topic, educational opportunities.
This program has been brought to you by the Workforce Investment Boards and Business and Career Solutions Centers of Southeast Louisiana, funded through a grant from the U.S. Department of Labor.
If you find yourself unhappy with your existing job, there are many new and exciting careers out there, but you may need to go back to school for education and training. Whether it is your GED or additional training for your existing career or a degree for a new career, continuing education is something that job seekers can investigate on their path to new employment.
I just decided I didn't want a job, just a job anymore. I wanted a career. So that's why I chose to go back to school. Well, I always tell people that knowledge is power. And I tell the youngsters, I say, don't wait till you get older like me to do something, do it now. You know, pay now and you can play later. You know, because you have to have an education. It's competitive out here. You know, you have to go to school.
When it comes to getting a job, some of the other things that we can help individuals with is adult education. A variety of individuals may come into the center and they have not obtained their high school diploma or their GED, and we can give them guidance on where they can actually complete that step in their life so that they can move forward with applying for a variety of different jobs.
If you don't have your GED and you're out of work, this may be a good time to focus your energy on that task. There are many options that the specialists at the Business and Career Solutions Centers can show you.
If an individual wants to get their GED first, we send them to the GED program, which is right here on campus, and we work hand in hand with them to get started.
People who excel, people who further their education, it gives them more job opportunity. Without my bachelor's degree, I would have never been able to come here and teach.
Today's employers are looking for people who have the right skills necessary to do the job, whether or not that means a GED, technical certification, or a degree. Don't underestimate the importance of education when looking for a job. And while not a guarantee for a job, adult education opens doors and helps job seekers and employees keep pace with an ever-changing technological world.
The idea of technology and things are changing every month, every week. So we are constantly trying to keep up with the times, the technology, and bettering ourselves. And also, there's a lot more job opportunity now.
I have noticed a large expansion in our technical programs. We have people coming back who are unemployed. We have people coming back to school who are employed but want to get better jobs.
Going back to school can be a difficult decision and a challenging process.
A lot of people who are coming back to college, their concerns are finances, whether or not they're going to be ready. They are afraid to go into class with younger people. And we encourage them. I said, you know, When you go in that class, younger people are actually looking to you for guidance because you know what you have to come and do. The older students always seem to do well because they're a little bit more motivated because they know this is something they have to do and they're doing it because this is something they actually chose to do and nobody's telling them that's your next step.
I went back to school when I was 48 and I had children at home. Children have demands on parents, and that's one of the things that our students need to know is they have to coordinate their home life with their school life. And sometimes we have students who have families, jobs, and going to school. So that's time management is a critical issue that we try to help our students with.
Just remember that going back to school is not necessarily going to take care of your short-term needs, and that you may still need to get a job to help you get through your education. And because it is a big decision to go back to school, make sure you are choosing the right options for yourself.
EMT stands for Emergency Medical Technology. That's a program that leads into you becoming a paramedic. Most people, when I talk to them, if they're interested in that program, the first thing I ask, how do you feel about blood? Because you're going to deal with blood. At some point, you're going to have to give a shot, somebody's going to be hurt, so blood's going to be there. So if blood is not your thing, EMT is probably not for you. There's other things you can do. So that's what I find out. I find out, what's your interest and what's your fears, because if it's a fear, that's not going to work for you. You have to be able to go into something and succeed at it and not be afraid to.
I'm enrolled in the P-Tech program, the process technology at Nunez. It prepares us to work at a refinery. My hopes for the future is to finish the program, the P-Tech program, and then get a job at one of the refineries in the area. The community colleges work out well for me because it's a little bit more flexible. They do work with you. They do realize that you have jobs, you have a life, you have kids. So they do help when it comes to that. The classes here are very hands-on. I mean, you get your hands dirty. It's just not writing in notebooks. You actually are doing the work, doing the job. That if you don't have passion for this, then you're not going to succeed with it.
All of the schools in the region offer flexible schedules with traditional classes, flex and night classes, as well as courses you can take online.
Online is a very viable option for students who are very disciplined, because when you're doing an online class, you have to be disciplined simply because you're not there with the instructor every day. So it's kind of on you to keep on task. If you don't feel that you're going to be a disciplined person, online may not be the best route for you to go, only because it's heavily relied on you being disciplined.
There are many options for continuing your education and upgrading your skills. And the specialists at the Business and Career Solution Centers can guide you to the appropriate resources and schools in your area. For that next step, you will need to know the best ways to find a job, including how to fill out an application correctly. And you will need to have a resume.
This program has been brought to you by the Workforce Investment Boards and Business and Career Solutions Centers of Southeast Louisiana, funded through a grant from the U.S. Department of Labor.